It's the 2nd of January, ladies and gents. The transfer window is open and the transfer rumours have started, and Arsenal have been linked to a number of players. Could it be Rodrigo? Could it be Nico Williams? Arda Güler? Now, I'm actually going to break it down why this actually makes a lot of sense. Ethan Nwaneri, again, has been linked with a move away. And Arsenal have a massive game tomorrow where they will all be playing Bournemouth and could even go 7 points clear before Manchester City even kick a ball. They will be playing against Chelsea Sunday, 5:30. I don't know why the Premier League have decided to schedule it, but it's the way it is during the festive period. It's busy. It's like that. Who knows? What's more important? Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with every single transfer rumor that comes around. The road to 100,000 is well and truly on, and 92% of you, yes, you right there, you, haven't subscribed. So please go down, hit that subscribe button, and let me know your thoughts. It's going to be a very interesting day tomorrow. Aston Villa kick off early. West Ham have a huge game away to Wolves, where if they lose, could be even worse. And Arsenal go and play at 5:30 on a Saturday, and then there's a 5:30 on a Sunday, and they play Bournemouth. We'll get into that in a minute. I want to talk about some of the transfer news. Now, Xabi Alonso at Real Madrid is getting a lot of heat. Vinicius Jr., there's been reports that he's unhappy, wants to leave. I don't necessarily think that Kylian Mbappe Vinicius Jr. relationship really works when you've got two big egos. You can only really play one of them at a time, because when Mbappe's best performances have been on a Real Madrid shirt, you know, the other one hasn't played in Vinny, and vice versa. When Vinny's best performances, Mbappe's been out injured. He's also had to deal with the Rodrigo situation, no goals in 31 games, finally breaks his duck, and now a player that has been linked to the move. And this is all over Twitter. All over Twitter. Countless reports. Looking for it yourself. Just seeing this. Arsenal are monitoring a potential opening to sign Real Madrid midfielder Arda Guler, with the belief that a loan to buy structure could make a possible deal for the Turkey international. However, Xabi Alonso is keen to keep Arda Güler at the Bernabeu and sees him part of his plans. Now, first of all, Arda Güler is a baller. That, for me, would be an unbelievable signing. But you've also got to look at the bigger picture. He is 20 years of age. I think a lot of these players, Arda Güler and Yildiz, must have the same agent. Both Turkish, both 20 years of age, both playing for big clubs in big respective leagues, linked with a move to Arsenal. Now, this, in theory, makes a lot of sense, because he is, again, a very versatile player, which is exactly what Martin Odegaard is. Can play deeper, can play as an 8, can play as a 10. Eberechi Eze played out on the left, can play on the right, can play as the 10. Gabriel Jesus can play out front, out wide. Havertz can play out front, out wide. This ticks a lot of the boxes. However, right now, I don't necessarily think at this time this is a realistic signing. But Arsenal, in their recent times, have actually did this with Nkapie, where it's a loan with an option. It might have been, was it obligation? I think it was an obligation to buy. His contract runs out 2029. Now, what's really interesting here is Miles Lewis-Skelly has been told, according to reports, that he potentially has a role as a midfielder. Now, you look at their attacking options for a midfield. You've got Declan Rice, who can play in the 8. You've got Martin Odegaard, who can play on the 8. You've got Ethan Nwaneri, who we'll get to in a minute, can play in the 10. You've got Eberechi Eze, who can play in the 10. In terms of a ceiling for those players, Arda Guler's ceiling, for me, is higher than Nwaneri's. It's higher than Eze's, higher than Odegaard's. The only player you could maybe argue has a higher ceiling is maybe Max Dowman, but he's probably going to be played out on the right. Does it make sense? No. But what's really interesting is this report was first spoken about in December. Now, this was the report. There's quite a few of them. Arsenal are currently evaluating the possibility of selling Gabriel Martinelli and prepared to intensify their pursuit of targets such as Semenyo, who's now joining Manchester City, Yildiz, who we just spoke about, Arda Güler, who we're speaking about now, Rafa Leao, I've spoken about countless times. Clubs including Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Al Nassr have previously expressed interest in Martinelli and could renew their efforts in 2026. Arsenal are seeking a transfer fee in the region of 60 to 70 million, with manager Mikel Arteta holding Martinelli in high regard, describing his as an outstanding attacker. Now, Martinelli, for me, is the one that could make way. But there is a bit of reshuffling here because I don't necessarily think Arda Güler is a left winger. Now, maybe Yildiz comes in, right? Again, not necessarily a left winger, but is versatile. Sorry, is a left winger, not necessarily a 10. He makes more sense to me to sign than Arda Güler because he is a predominant left winger. He's got very good stats this season in terms of output. His contract expires 2029 as well. They're both valued at about anywhere between 75 to 90 million euros. Is it likely that either of those players join in January? No, probably not. But Mikel Arteta has said in recent weeks that they are in the market. And I said this multiple occasions that Arsenal, if Man City go out there and sign Semenyo, you have to act. You can't sit there and act like you're just going to sit around. Arsenal are reportedly stepping up their interest in Real Madrid midfielder Arda Guler. According to reports in Spain, the Gunners are ready to push hard for an 80 million euro rated Turkey international this January, although convincing Real Madrid won't be easy. Arsenal's interest has grown, partly due to Martin Odegaard's injury issues. Now, Martin Odegaard this season has to step up for me. He has to. Last year, he wasn't anywhere near the levels we've seen. I personally think you can upgrade on Odegaard. Arsenal are reportedly exploring a loan to buy move. Now, if you have a midfield of Zubimendi, Arda Güler, and Rice, disgusting. If you've got a front line of Havertz, Saka, and Yildiz, because that's what Arsenal need to do. They need to bring in a maverick. You look at Man City, Ryan Cherki, Foden, Haaland, and now Semenyo. That is an unbelievable frontline options. Plus, they've also got Jeremy Doku, Omar Mamouche. They've also got, I can't remember the other one's name, Oscar Bob if he stays. Arsenal have Trossard, very good performer. Martinelli can be inconsistent. Gyökeres at the moment hasn't hit the ground running. Havertz and Jesus, have both been out injured. Saka and Noni are predominantly going to lock down that right-hand side. That left wing area is where, for me, things can improve. Now, Ethan Nwaneri is a player that has been linked again with a move away. Now, for me, mixed opinion on this because the Mao, who are a very good, reliable transfer source, have come out and said Arsenal midfielder Ethan Nwaneri is on the radar of Bournemouth for a potential loan move until the end of the season. Nwaneri has slid down Arteta's pecking order since the summer. Since summer recruitment has not played a single minute in the last 6 Premier League matches, and the club are conscious that the youngster, ever player, needs consistent senior minutes. Similar to Lewis Skelly. He's a hell of a talent. But you've got Eze, you've got Dowman, you've got Saka, you've got Odegaard, potentially Yildiz or Arda Güler. It's very, 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 very interesting, this situation that potentially could be on the horizon for Arsenal. I think Bournemouth would be a really, really, really good move for him. Plus, or Palace, plus, is he potentially being looked at as a Semenyo or part of the Semenyo replacements? Like, I think there's a lot that Arsenal should be excited about going in the future. But I just think that left wing position is definitely an area they can strengthen. Definitely. And if you've got a player like Arda Güler, or you've got a player like Yildiz, surely you have to capitalize on that. Now, the Premier League table, there's currently 4 points between Arsenal and City. And Arsenal do play first. Manchester City play second. And what's really, really interesting is, as it stands right now, Man City are going to be playing Chelsea, who are managerless. Do they potentially have a new manager bounce? I think that game goes one of two ways. You'd have to check out the video I did earlier with Terry. We discussed about the ins and outs of, Spurs right now in terms of, not Spurs, sorry, the ins and outs of Arsenal right now in terms of how that game potentially could go in Arsenal's favour because Chelsea have a new manager. However, there's rumours that there potentially is no Caicedo, so that makes things very, very interesting. Now, I think they beat Bournemouth. Probability would tell you the Bournemouth are due a win. They haven't won a game since October. Look at their results. Draw, loss, draw. The last game was 26th of October. Their recent form, lost, drew, lost, drew. And then the last three are, I think, draw, loss, draw. Yeah. Well, they're guaranteed to win on the 7th of January, aren't they? Let's be honest. But for me, that Arsenal game, if Arsenal go out there and win, that pressure on Man City at the Etihad to go out there and beat Chelsea is going to be massive. It's going to be massive. Let me know your thoughts. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.